This is Let's Talk Big, the Big Read with Jane Berger and Jen Hazel. The Owens Community College Campus Read is taking place now and throughout the semester, with the goal of bringing awareness of different perspectives through books. The Campus Read book is Carrie, a Memoir of Survival on Stolen Land, from 2020 recipient of the NEA Creative Writing Fellowship, Tony Jensen. It's a memoir and essays about gun violence, land, and Indigenous women's lives. Now sharing passages, topics, and events related to the book, Carrie, a Memoir of Survival on Stolen Land, is Owens Community College Director of Library Services, Jane Berger, and Professor of English, Jen Hazel.
Welcome back, everyone, and boy, is it a welcome back. This is the start of the fall 2023 semester. I am Jen Hazel, and I have with me
Jane Berger,
and we push the big read on campus. That's why we're here talking big. Jane is the Director of Library Services, and I am
the Professor Extraordinaire in Humanities.
And we also have with us
Kristen Price, Professor of Psychology in the Social and Behavioral Sciences Department.
So today we have a really great show in store for you. We are going to lay out what you're going to expect this semester from the big read. We are also going to highlight some of these great people that we are going to be having on the podcast this semester.
Little teasers, if you will. First of all, you have to have your book if you want to really dive into the big read. So we will have a bookmark sale. Now, this isn't any ordinary bookmark. Sometimes you have to, think out of the box to get things done the way you want. This is going to be the best bookmark you will ever own because it comes with a free book, our big read book. You purchase your great, unique bookmark for $12 and you will get a copy of the big read book. That will happen on both campuses on September 7th. All day long. The library on Toledo is open until 8 p.m. The library on the Findlay campus is open until 5. Make your day count. Pop right in. Avoid the rush. Come early. Long lines are expected.
Also on that day, on the 7th, we have one of our most favorite events, which is our Confronting Biases, with this special guest, Dr. Kristen Price, on September 7th at 11 a.m. in College Hall 100.
On September 7th, College Hall 100, we will be hosting a presentation on biases, implicit biases, biases in general, specifically in regard to the campus read this semester, Carrie by Tony Jensen. And as for my part, I'll kind of be zooming out a bit, talking about biases in general, how we all have them, nothing to be afraid of in general, right? They're not all bad. But we should have an eye toward impact over intention when it comes to biases in terms of judging other people. Just sort of having some intellectual rigor when it comes to looking at how we implicitly reason about other groups of people.
Dr. Price, give us an example so that we can understand the impact of how important it is for individuals to attend this event. College Hall 100, 11 a.m., and will also be live stream. Check out our website. Our website is what for the live stream link?
owens.edu/humanities/read.
Thank you, Jane. Dr. Price?
So one of the things I'll be talking about that is specific to sort of my area of interest is how young people sort of can very quickly absorb the biases of the adults around them. And then we will have another guest at the event who hopefully will talk more specifically about how that impacts certain specific groups.
Well, I think that's awesome. Even though we've had different topics, different themes, different book titles for our big read, the presenters are able to focus and hone in on our current theme and book. So each time you're going to learn a little bit about yourself.
And then we're going to kind of dive into a book club. We're going to have 2 different book clubs this semester. And then, Jane, why don't you tell us about what's happening on October 4th?
When we select a theme and a book for our big read, we plan programming and we collaborate with a lot of other areas on campus to bring programming and events that are relevant and kind of get you thinking. This one is very relevant, unfortunately. We will have a speaker talk to us on gun violence. As you'll see, once you dive into the book, that is one of the many themes that's contained within this book, which, by the way, is called Carrie, a Memoir of Survival on Stolen Land by Tony Jensen.
Just in case you missed the podcast in the spring.
Correct.
We want to make sure you're all set with that.
Correct.
So then one of absolutely most favorite events that we're going to be having after that is a celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day. Tony Jensen is an Indigenous person. We are going to have two fabulous speakers come and talk about their Indigenous heritage. And so we are so lucky to be able to do that. During that week, there will also be an advocacy project. Please pop into the library or the Center for Campus and Community Connections Monday through Thursday that week to partake in that advocacy project.
As Jen said, we've got these speakers coming, and one of them is Grandma Mary, and you cannot miss Grandma Mary. She is just the sweetest, most knowledgeable woman you will meet talking about this topic, but oh my gosh, she's so sweet.
Just absolutely wonderful. And Jane, take this next one about the Human Library.
This will be maybe our fourth, maybe our third. We've had one for the past few years, fall and spring semesters. The Human Library, if you are not sure, is exactly what it sounds like. It is a library where humans are the books and humans are the readers to come in, air quote, check out the books to learn more about them. These may be books that have topics that you may not have had any opportunity to talk about this particular topic. In the past, we have had books that have talked about being in the foster care system, being obese and being bullied, being a single parent, being legally blind, but being bullied because of that. And we've just had a whole host of human books, and we have a whole new shelf that are fresh and ready to be read on November 2nd. November 2nd. And it will be here in Toledo in Heritage Hall, 10 a.m. to noon, not to be missed.
And we will be having a speaker, one of our books, come on this podcast. You better be checking in every week so you'll have the opportunity to hear from her. With our last event this semester, we'll be having a film showing of Rumble, The Indians Who Rock the World. It is a phenomenal film that actually really shows how much of our music today is based upon Indigenous peoples. When Jane and I first saw it, we were really blown away.
Yeah, and you won't believe some of the artists that you are familiar with who have Indigenous lineage. I open mouthed watching, going, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Come on and check it out. Popcorn may or may not be involved.
So here is what we did for you. We kind of laid out the whole semester. Be sure that you're checking in every week. You can listen to Let's Talk Big on the Outcast OCCR, Owens Community College Radio, as well as on the Owens Outcome Student Media Center YouTube channel every week on Thursdays. That's when our new episode is going to drop on Thursdays. If you're listening to the radio, it's going to air at 7 and 10 and 7 and 10.
Can you also catch it on our Big Read website?
Well, you can get it on our Big Read website.
How about that?
Jane, do you know the address of our Big Read website?
She's killing me here.
I got it for you.
owens.edu/humanities/read.
We are so happy to have you all as listeners. We will be talking big next week. On behalf of Dr. Price, Jane Berger, and myself, keep talking big.
Join us again for Let's Talk Big, the Big Read with Jane Berger and Jen Hazel.